All right, so I just gave my speech. I'm not sure which video I'm going to upload first, but I got one that's a long video about the didgeridoo, so you're fixing to hear that in a minute. So it's the longer video. I just don't know if I'm uploading this video first or that one first. I haven't decided yet. And after talking about that, the spiritual healing and the planet, and me and my guys here are part of this thing, I look at an article like this: Baltimore dubbed most robbed city in America. And it's just like, this is the stuff that hopefully we're getting away from as the planet starts to heal, the deep state goes away. This isn't happening overnight, of course. This is going to be years in the making. But at least I think we're taking some good steps in that direction. So when I read this stuff, I think, oh, that's the old system. Excuse me, that's the old system. Better things are coming. But we got, not tomorrow. The next day doesn't look good either. Years from now. But as Snip always says, look at the top terrible stat cities in the whole country, and they're pretty much all run by Democrats. Highest crime, highest spending, highest welfare. It's all Democratic run places. So I don't want to disappoint, so I'm going to go ahead and give you another one. Zero Hedge. Baltimore dubbed most robbed city in America. About a 60-minute drive northeast of Washington, D.C., the city of Baltimore is on the verge of collapse. Thousands of people are fleeing the city each year as total population plummets to 100-year lows. There are about 46,000 vacant row homes scattered throughout the area, or roughly 15% of the housing stock is dormant. On a per capita basis, the city has the highest rate of homicides per 100,000 in the country. Opioids from Johns Hopkins and the University of Maryland Medical Center continue to flood the poorest of the neighborhoods, leaving the African American communities in a perpetual state of addiction, along with the need for constant government assistance programs. With the local economy basically a black market, gangs roam the streets like a third world country. There's some more to this stats, but I'm just gonna stop now and talk for a second. So the Democrats, who give the most handouts, are also giving out the most opioids through their little, Johns Hopkins University, let's help them. Oh, and what do they do in California, like San Francisco? Let's give out needles to the drug addicts. Well, we don't want them sharing you needles, so we'll just give them needles. Oh, so less of an expense, so they can rob everybody to get the money they need to buy the drugs, but at least they don't have to buy the needles. Put a liberal in charge, and they'll run anything they touch into the ground. Baltimore is no different. Not even kind of. So it's democratically run, and we've got all these welfare programs, and we've got 15% housing empty, highest killings per 100,000 in the U.S. Nothing to see here. My job is done. So I thought, well, what kind of, what's the history of Baltimore? List of mayors of Baltimore. And it talks about how, was it this one that had the most mayors change hands in like what is that? There was some stat here that was like, I'm trying to see if I can just see it real quickly. Maybe in another page that I had that I didn't send myself. But it talks about Democrat, the majority. I'll just go back from now, 2019, to 1967. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 mayors, all Democrat. One Republican was 1963 to 1967. And then going back before that, it's like Democrat, Democrat, Republican. Democrat, Democrat, Republican. And then interesting, back in the 1800s, it was called Democratic Republican. Whatever that is. Oh, and the Whig Party. We actually had the Whig Party too. American Party, I see that. That's interesting. 1854, all the way through 1860, there was something called the American Party. That sounds good to me. That sounds real good to me. I'm for the American Party myself. I'm not for the Democrats, the Republicans, or nope. How about the good Americans? For the People Party. That's the Snip. That's the J Snip Party. But at any rate, this is going to come to a head at some point. I mean, it's already there. You could say in certain areas, and the Democrats are going to be shown for what they've always been. You realize, you look up the history of slaves in America, it was the Democrats who had the slaves and did not want to give them up. And now all of a sudden, the Democrats are screaming, "We need to give reparations to the blacks." Yeah, that's what we need to do. We need to pay them. It's the year 2019. Where the hell were you Democrats back when the slaves were trying to get off your land? Hey, can I, I'd like to be free. No, 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 no. No, we can't have that. They're being exposed. So unbelievable right now. They're infighting Pelosi versus AOC. Like, the fireworks are getting started. The Democratic Party is going to implode. It already is upon itself. Take care.